Hey guys, um this is I guess video on area and just area. I'll do one on volume later. But basically area is what's inside a figure. So if I were to have a square, it's all the stuff inside the square. That would be the area of the square. The enclosing shape of the square, I guess. So you have different, I guess, shapes, and each shape has a different formula. So you got squares, rectangles, triangles, trapezoids, pentagons, hexagons. You have a lot of shapes and sizes and squares. You have rhombuses, but for this video, I'm going to focus on triangles, and I'm also going to focus on squares, rectangles, rhombuses, and trapezoids. So a triangle. This is a triangle. It's a right angle triangle to be specific, but this is just a triangle. It has 3 points, 3 sides, and it is about straight. Say we're given the sides. Say 5, 5, and 9. This has to make sense because 2 sides. Let's call side A of a triangle A plus side B of a triangle B has to always be greater than side C. And let's say so 5 plus 9 is greater than 5. And then this 5 plus this 9 is greater than 5. And 5 plus 5 is greater than 9. So they all work out. So that's the first rule to remember. Alright. And let's say I gave you a height of 6. The formula is area equals half of the base times the height. So basically the height would be 6 because that's from the base, the longest side, to the very tippy top. So that would be half of 6 times 9, which is 54 divided by 2, which is 27. So the area would be 27 units squared. Don't forget it's units squared, because if this were feet, the base would be 9 feet, height would be 6 feet, and feet times feet is feet squared. So it's unit squared because I haven't specified the unit. Alright, so just, if this were your triangle, and I drew a bunch of dashes and gave you the drop down, from here and said this was 6 and this was 9, you wouldn't, and if I gave you this side as 7 and 8, this, I guess, drop down line would be the height because it's the point from the top to the bottom. So just remember this would still have an area of 27 units square, but it just is drawn differently, very differently. Next, we're on to squares and rectangles. This will only take a few minutes, seconds rather. Form of rectangle is L times W, and what that basically means is the length times the width. So you see, this is 5 and this is 3. The area is 15. 5 times 3. Really easy. Trapezoid and rhombus. I'm going to do the rhombus first. Alright, this is D1 times D2 divided by 2, I believe. So, at times you're going to be given the length of the diagonals, but at other times you're not going to be given the length of the diagonals. But if you are, D1 times D2 divided by 2 is pretty much the formula that most people use. You can Google it on Google. It also probably says D1, D2, or something like that. D1 is diagonal 1, D2 is diagonal 2, and this would be a diagonal from one, I guess, one vertex. Is that singular to the other one? So D1 times d2 over 2. So that means, let's say d1 is 8 and d2 is, I don't know, 10. It would be 10 times 8 over 2. And since you're multiplying the 2 in the numerator, you can just do something like that. That's 40. Now for 8 plus 10 over 2, you'd have to divide the 8 by 2 and 10 by 2 if you wanted to, but that's 40. That's basically how you solve the area of a rhombus. Now if you have to find the diagonals and stuff, then you have to obviously use whatever formulas you have to use to find the area of the diagonal. Last but not least, the trapezoid. It is an interesting figure. It's like this. So you can technically break this up into two smaller triangles and a rectangle, but this is a simple formula. Formula area equals okay, yeah, I'm like blanking out now that I have to make this video. B1 plus B2 over 2 times height. This would be the height. Even say this was your trapezoid, this would be your height, and this entire thing would be your base. 2 and this would be your base 1. So, yeah, but that is not our trapezoid. This is the one up here. So what you do is area equals base 1. I want to call this 10, 18, and 6 because they're all multiples of 2 and you have to divide by 2. So you got 10 plus 18 over 2 times 6. So that's 28 over 2. That's 14 times 6 equaled 84 units squared. If it's area, it's always going to be squared, so you don't have to include the feet or the units in your calculations because sometimes it just messes people up. Yep, that's basically all you got to know for basic area formulas. Hope you learned something. If you have any questions, please submit them in the comments, and have a good day.